Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. Really not a lot to say here. Thank you to everyone who watched the stream on Tuesday night, PBW vs AEW return stream. It was a pretty top show. Thank you to everyone who watched the backtracking episode, because there was a lot of people who did. It's probably the most popular one I've ever done by now in terms of viewership, which I was not expecting, but I should have been. But we got 5 albums to cover here, none of which are by Baby Metals, so sorry to disappoint you with that. But yeah, 5 albums to do. Let's get through them really quick. We start in Chicago, Illinois for Belmont and their second album, Aftermath. Now, I actually caught their first one, and I think I reviewed it in an episode of Music of the Month back when I was doing that, because 2018 was the first year I started doing that, and really like their debut, really like their follow-up here. It's their first one on Pure Noise, which is a really smart decision switch for them, although Mutant League is always a really good, label itself too, but still, solid album, giving it a B+. I like how eclectic the overall, pop-punk / easycore-ish vibe felt, you know. There was a lot of really good heaviness to it, sort of in a Calling All Captains way. It can feel a bit lost at certain points, but it's still a really fun album to listen through, and Belmont are rising to become one of the best modern-day pop-punk bands / easycore leaning bands, so yeah, I highly recommend listening to this one. It's got some fun lyrics, it's got some pretty dark lyrics as well at that. The instrumentation is pretty good. It does also suffer from having not as many members, because it's their first album with only 3 people involved, and one of those, I think his name is Brian, I don't remember his surname. He did pretty much almost all the instrumentation work, so yeah, that kind of been easy, but despite that, still a really solid album and still worth a listen. Next we head to New Orleans, Louisiana for Crowbar and their 12th album, Zero and Below. When I first heard about these guys, I did think they were a debut, but that was only because I hadn't really heard about them up until this point. But no, I found out that they've been around since 1990, and this is their 12th album. They play a very sludge-leaning style of doom metal, and they're basically considered one of the innovators of the genre, even though the lead singer is sort of against it. Still, for a album in a genre I don't typically give as much praise, I'm giving this one an A-. I love how it did away with the usual doom metal tropes of just wasting a lot of time and actually filled it with some really fun stuff. I like how the genres are blended in quite well. So yeah, giving this an A-. I think I already did, but in case I didn't, I'm giving it one now. Really liked a lot of the lyrical themes were a little bit difficult for me to understand, but honestly, everything else was really great. The production is clean as hell, smooth as butter. The structuring is really good. I like how the pacing is mixed up. And honestly, the album's just really solid. The performances are really good too. And lead singer Kirk, what's his surname? Kirk Windstein, not Weinstein. W-I-N-D, Stein. However you pronounce it, really good vocalist and rhythm guitarist too. So yeah, just fantastic work all around from everyone. I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought it would. Next we go to Dublin, California. There is actually a Dublin, California, which I didn't know until I did this one. Just Friends with their 3rd album, Hella. Now, I first heard about these guys 4 years ago for their last album titled Nothing But Love, and I didn't listen to it because it came about at a time where I was just like, I'm adding way too many bands, and I don't know if I would like their style. I did hear the song Supersonic back then, which I did enjoy, but I was like, I'm gonna skip the album. Big mistake! Turns out, giving this album an A+, the only A+ grade of this episode. Phenomenal on all fronts, right? Mostly really short songs, but they're filled with so much into them. There's a lot of really good vibes and feeling. I love the sound mixture of, alternative hip-hop and, the funk and the punk and the sort of, groove stuff. Just, it was a good time, you know, much like Dashboard Confessional Neo album, it did make me feel the Warm Fuzzies, but in a much happier tone, you know, and yeah, just honestly a really fun album, packed to the gills with fantastic production as well. Love how it plays out at the end. The last song is one of the shortest on the album, and it actually feels like it's 2.5-ish minutes in some really fun ways, so yeah, absolutely 100% listen to this one. Just Friends are, I apologise for not listening to your last album, please forgive me. Next we go to Falun, Sweden for Sabaton, where their 10th album, The War to End All Wars. Now, the only album I've done by these before was their last album before this, back in 2019, titled The Great War, and this is kind of a sequel to that, but I know of Sabaton largely by reputation. I know a lot about their sound, about what they sing about, which is mostly just they're a History Channel documentary, but a really cool one, in a way. And yeah, it's really no different from what you would get from them, but still really great. I'm giving this one a B+. I personally don't think it holds up quite as well as The Great War did, especially considering there's like a narrative sequel to that in a way. But still, really solid work all around. I like how the keyboard work drives a lot of the album's sound, and the lead singer, Joachim... What's his surname? Joachim Broden. Still an absolutely fantastic vocalist, an absolute unit. And yeah, just really solid instrumental work from everyone else involved too. I wish there were more solos. There didn't feel like there was enough solos for me, but I did like a lot of the lyrics and the themes they focused on. Soldier of Heaven is an especially brilliant song on the album. It's probably my favourite one. It's based on the White Friday Avalanches, which I didn't know anything about until I looked them up, so kudos to that. And yeah, just absolutely, I just had a fun time. Well, not a fun time, a very dark time to be had, but it's Sabaton. You know they're going to kick ass, and indeed here they kick ass. Really fun structuring, really great production too. So yeah, it's basically everything you would expect from the band, and there's really no reason to complain about it. And finally we go to Boston, Massachusetts for vainfm with their second album, This World Is Going to Ruin You. Much like Just Friends, these are a band I heard about back in 2018. It's also when their last album came out, titled... I don't remember what it was called, but we'll skim over that for now. But yeah, I heard good things about these guys back then. I just never listened to them. I wasn't initially keen on this, but I'm giving this an A-. I wasn't initially keen on this, but as I started to look more into it, I found that it's like, it reads off as sort of a... It's sort of like Matrufiji by Tala, right? Not as conceptualized, but still a very, like, character-based sort of story in a way. Very creeping in its way as well. Very depressing and violent themes, and it just works with the sound itself as well. And this was something highlighted by many reviewers. It benefits highly from how unpredictable it is. It goes to a lot of places, and it's not always smooth transitions, but the fact that it does it, and the fact that the band is so bold, again, this is their second album, the fact that they're so bold to go for it this early shows that, yeah, they can get away with this shit. I absolutely love how much sweat and blood they put into the performances as well. The concept told through the lyrics, if there is intentionally a concept to be told. Really loved how it was handled. Yeah, just fantastic work as well from the performances. This is the first album with Benno Levine on the turntables as well. I think he just missed being on their debut, so yeah, he does a really great job. Everyone really does. Just phenomenal work all around, and really good decision to sign with Closed Casket and Nuclear Blast, and also they have Will Putney on fucking production. Will Putney. That one. Good God, the man's everywhere and he always does great work, and he does with this. This is a great album. Oh, that's another episode of this in the book, and honestly, one of my favourite weekends of music so far. I was not expecting to like vainfm's album as much as I did, but it's still super enjoyable. As for my most recommended, all of them, honestly, but my most disrecommended would definitely be Hello by Just Friends. It's just such a fun and vibrant album in comparison to the other albums, which are pretty damn dark in terms of their tone, but yeah, still absolutely listen to all of these when you can find the time. They're all really great in their own ways. As for what's next from me, well, next thing I can promise is tomorrow night, streaming my new Let's Play, which is going to be Sonic Generations. Also tonight, I'm going to be putting up making public the videos for the Bulletstorm Let's Play. I meant to do that last night, but I completely forgot because I'm a plum. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that tonight, and then tomorrow night, Sonic Generations will start on my Twitch. And basically, that's it. Next video I'll see you for will probably be another Fight of the Night episode review on Sunday. That'll about do it. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.